Joey, look at this. It's like a hit list of everyone who was killed by the Countess.
So Charlie was writing about each of the victims. I knew there was something fishy about that place. Come on, let's go back there and talk to him.
What on earth do we say?
Think of something, kid. History is repeating itself, and I don't... What was that?
It looks like his inbox is being updated. My name. That's my name.
That son of a... Mess with us, Willie.
He just marked me. I'm next.
Look, don't worry. She might not come right away. We have time to plan.
You killed Claude. And the others.
I did not kill. I healed them.
Can it? We've heard this song before. Just back away, real slow-like.
I only want to help.
I think we've had about enough of your help, lady. Back off, kid. I'm ready this time.
I have to help her. Just let me help her.
Oh, yeah? Help yourself to this.
Joey, are you all right?
Just peachy. Get out of here, will ya? What are you, crazy? Get out of here.
You know, I think Joey might have the right idea on this one. Maybe we should just make ourselves a little scarce.
Come on, come on, come on! Stupid elevator. Must be stuck a few floors down.
It's just as well, I mean, we can't go too far without Joey anyway.
I have no idea who lives there.
Can't go in there. Could probably go in here, though.
Where is she? She isn't far. I can sense her.
You think I'm telling you?
Where?
Well, I know for sure she's not through that door behind you.
I mean, he's not lying. Well, quite distinctly not. Okay, maybe there's something we can use in our apartment to get around this. I mean, the situation doesn't look exactly great
No
as it
place to
stands.
go. I can't run away unless Joey comes with me, and Joey's the only thing holding her back. Come on, Rosa. Auntie did it 30 years ago, so can you.
Yes, but I think if you don't have a glowing ghost cigarette, it's not going to go the same way. Though, speaking of Auntie Lauren...
I wish you were here, Auntie. I really do.
That's far enough, sister.
Joey, leave it.
Leave it like hell.
Well, there's nothing we can do physically to her, but maybe we can get through to her with this.
Hey, look at this.
Who?
Look how she's holding it up with a
That's-
smile.
I wanted to help her.
And look where it got you. You think anyone appreciates your help?
No. No!
How did we end up here?
I have brought you here. You are safe now. I have saved you.
Saved me? What do you mean, saved me? What did you do? Joey, did she kill me? Am I dead?
I don't know. Lady, I suggest you start talking.
There is nothing to say. You are safe now, both of you.
My dear, you carry on so.
You. It's you. I've been looking for you for so long. Why did you leave me?
My poor host, you cast me out. You broke our bond. It's too late to repair it.
What? No. Why would I do that?
Your mind is so broken that you do not remember. My, you are a mess. You don't even know your own name, Countess, indeed. Regardless, it is time for this to end.
End? Is there an end?
For you, there can be, if you let me.
I trust you, Madeline. I always will trust you.
Rosangela Blackwell, Joseph Malone, it is a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm sorry it had to be under such unpleasant circumstances.
Unpleasant is right. Who are you?
My name is Madeline, and a long time ago, I was this poor soul's spirit guide. She corrupted our bond, and I'm afraid the damage to both of us was quite severe. Can you help us? Can you help us end this cycle of death?
Well, that depends. Are you gonna make us forget you exist today?
I know you.
I have been trying to reach you in your dreams. At long last, I am able to manifest myself here. But time is short. Will you help us?
We've got some questions first.
Yes, I'm sure you do. But time is short. Will you help us?
Shut down like a school teacher. Yes, I'm sure you do. That's very nice, but we need to do this first, okay?
Yes, I'll help you. I don't have much choice. She's killed me.
Killed you? No. She left you quite unharmed. But regardless,
Didn't you see
there
you
is
went
no
floating
time
in
to waste.
blue?
Come with me. Now just relax.
Hey, what's the big idea? All right, you. Talk. Where are they?
The pattern. They're going to fix the pattern.
Talk sense, will ya?
The source. Cut off the source and the pattern will revert.
Why do I bother? Great. Trapped on another plane of existence with the Countess of Crazyville. They better know what they're doing.
I wouldn't speak too badly of Crazyville. I hear it's pretty nice in the summer.
Hey, what happened? How did you do that?
This is where the link originates.
Link?
The bond between your countess and her hosts. Part of her is trapped here. You must remove it.
Okay, so somewhere in this diner, from the looks of it, there's something that'll stop the Countess. You might need a little bit more
Madeline,
info?
Could I talk to you?
Of course.
Where are we?
You have been to this plane before. You have brought many lost spirits through here.
No one told me there was a
yes,
diner.
but there was never a diner before.
I can understand your confusion, but it is not a real diner. It is metaphorical. As you know, there is a bond between the Countess and her current host, and the bond is represented by this diner. You will find out more inside.
So this diner is like Joey's tie.
Why is it represented by a diner?
The Countess used to spend lots of time in diners like these. You will find out more inside.
If you would just step inside for the love of God, maybe you would learn something.
This bond, how do I break it?
Part of the Countess is trapped inside. You must find it and remove it.
Trapped inside, Rosa. Inside!
How did the Countess break the bond between you?
She did not break the bond, but moved it. To be rid of me, she had to form a bond with someone living. Someone who could, in essence, become her guide. How she acquired this knowledge, I do not know. I only know that it was accomplished.
Who did she pass it to?
Joe Gould. It was an easy task, since his mind was already broken. Upon Gould's death, it was passed on to Joseph Mitchell.
And now Charlie Meltzer.
Yes, it must be broken if this is to end.
How did the Countess get so...
Insane?
Yes.
Like you, her mind is a door to another plane of existence. By corrupting our bond, she opened that door so wide that it flooded her mind with unfathomable knowledge. She essentially has the universe inside her head, and no human mind can contain that. It broke her. She sees everything but understands nothing. If she didn't banish me to this place between worlds, I might feel more pity.
Did you know her when she was alive?
Of course. We spent almost 30 years together.
What was she like?
Different. Happier. She loved helping those in need. But it no longer matters. She is the one who needs help now.
Which you can do if you go inside already! Alright,
Thanks,
fine,
Madeline.
jeez.
I'm going to see what I can do.
I will be waiting right here.
Not gonna come in or anything? Nope, okay. Oh, I guess you've been banished, so maybe you can't get
For
into
the
the diner.
upteenth time, I have no money for your fund.
Show some pity. At least lend us a cigarette.
Ahem, I believe we got company.
Ah. Miss, could you perhaps spare a few dollars for the Joe Gould Fund?
Well, not that I'm unwilling, but A, I don't think I have any, and B, you're a ghost in a diner in another realm? I don't know how money works here, if I'm honest. But we've got Joe Gould
Hello.
and
Hello.
Joseph Mitchell.
My name is Joseph Ferdinand Gould. I am graduate of Harvard magna cum difficultate and chairman of the board of Wheel and Woe Incorporated. In exchange for a drink, I'll recite a poem, deliver a lecture, argue a point, or take off my shoes and imitate a seagull. I prefer gin, but beer will do.
I've been hearing a lot about you lately.
My reputation precedes me.
I saw your portrait in the Minetta.
The Minetta. Yes, I'm quite famous there, you know.
I gathered.
It's all thanks to Mitchell, of course. The Joe Gould Fund filled its coffers nicely when he wrote his article.
And then you died. Although, yeah, no, you were still alive, and then... Hang on. I'm a little confused. So the Countess was with Joe Gould first. Then did Joseph Mitchell write about Joe Gould while he was still alive or after he was dead? Because if it was while he was still alive, that would make more sense to me, because the Countess was going around killing people that Joseph Mitchell wrote about. But equally, if it was after he was dead, that might establish the connection? I'm a little confused about that, if I'm honest.
What are you doing here?
I don't quite know myself. We've all got to be someplace. As I understand it, I was mentally linked to my old friend, the Countess. I wish I'd known. It explains everything that my work was trying to prove.
Your work?
I have had many callings. I studied the seagulls of the world and learned their language. I spent months measuring the heads of 1,000 Chippewa Indians. But before I died, I was putting to paper the most important literary work known to man, the oral history of our time. It was a compilation of the conversations of the city, overheard in bars, subways, street corners, and diners. Put together and studied properly, it would have revolutionized everything.
That would be pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie.
How would it have revolutionized everything?
We were all connected, every single one of us. But how? Think of the ramifications if we found out.
It sounds like quite an undertaking.
It was my life's work.
You can definitely say that again.
How did you know the Countess?
We met in a diner like this one. We'd often spend a week or two walking along the docks to discuss seagulls. She had many interesting theories on seagull linguistics. Then, one day, she disappeared.
Seagulls have accents?
But a link had already formed between us. It's everything my oral history was trying to prove, that we were all linked.
So, Joe Gould knew the Countess while she was still alive. Then, Lauren killed her. No. That can't be right. Because by that time, the Countess was already with Joseph Mitchell. So, the Countess disappeared for a bit of time before? And then turned up again? I'm a little lost, I'm sorry.
The Countess is killing people.
Murder? No. No, I refuse to believe that. She couldn't hurt a fly.
Why is she called the Countess?
That's what she chooses to call herself. Far be it for me to tell her otherwise.
The name doesn't seem strange to you?
When you lived a life like mine, you take people at face value. Who cares about names? I once knew another fellow without a name. Called himself the Deacon.
Ah, we knew him as well.
The Deacon? You knew the Deacon?
Oh yes, he was this gloomy career drunk. One summer night while sitting in a doorway of the Bowery, he caught the scent of sulfur. He looked up and saw the devil himself standing over him. Since that night he believed he lost his soul. Not the most charitable drinking companion, if I may say so.
No, he wouldn't be.
You knew him?
Sort of.
Fancy that.
Yeah, we've met quite a few of the ghosts you've met. I'm sorry, I'm still confused about the whole Countess thing. So were they only linked while they were both alive? Then... I'm gonna stop dwelling on it, but I think I've lost track of how it works.
What's your connection to Joseph Mitchell?
Ah, Mitchell.
Well, maybe
my
he'll tell us.
benefactor. He made me quite famous, you know. But my goodwill only extends so far.
Why's that?
A cigarette. He has them. He won't give me one. It's demeaning to have to beg for one measly cigarette.
You want a cigarette?
Yes, I want a cigarette. It's a disgrace that I should have to beg for one.
Okay, maybe we can have a word with Joseph, but first...
I'd like to read the oral history.
And I'd like you to, but I'm afraid it belongs to the ages now.
There was also the problem of it never existing in the first place.
Of course it existed, only not on paper. It was over 3 million words, 3 times the size of the Holy Bible. The work transcended mere parchment and ink.
What about those essays you published in the Dial?
A passing fancy, nothing more.
You wrote essays?
For the now-defunct Dial magazine. I still have the originals. Do you want to see?
Yeah,
I'd like
sure.
to see that essay.
Here you go.
Why, thank you,
It
Joe.
appears to be an essay about insanity, but the handwriting is so awful I can barely make it out. Just as well. I don't have time to read all this stuff.
Wanna bet? Insanity is a topic of particular interest to me, despite my theory that people with strong willpower and a sense of humor... I'm not gonna bother reading the rest, but I'll leave it up, so if you guys want to read it, go ahead. What we want, though, is
I
this
don't think he'll
paperclip.
miss this.
I mean, he's a ghost. What do ghosts need with paperclips? I'm quite surprised he can even hold this, and/or that we can hold it if it's ghost paper. But what do I know? Maybe this is his ghost power, Joey's his magic breath in a tie. Who knows? Oh, something's gone wrong. It's fine. It's fine.
Here you go.
Always glad to share.
Well, I've got a paperclip now, for reasons that will become obvious in a little bit.
Hello. You're Joseph Mitchell, aren't you?
I believe you have the better of me, Miss
Blackwell. Rosangela Blackwell.
Blackwell, huh? I might have known.
You met my auntie.
Your auntie, yes. I do see a slight resemblance. I did warn her to leave well enough alone, but she was determined. Let's hope that you can do some good here.
What are you doing here?
We are echoes, leftovers, if you will. We were linked to the Countess when we were alive. When we died, part of ourselves got trapped here.
So you're not a ghost?
Not fully. I'm not sure what I am. I remember living, I remember dying, but I don't feel like Joseph Mitchell. All I know is that when I thought of death, an eternity with Joe Gould was the last thing on my mind.
Ah, well, it's happened now.
What is your connection to the Countess?
I don't know. I never met the woman. Joe Gould was the one who knew her. He had a special bond with her, apparently. But somehow, he passed it on to me when he died. Next thing I knew, I was murdering people by writing about them. There was no choice. I had to stop writing.
Because I always thought Joe Gould wound up being murdered because Joseph Mitchell had written about him, but apparently not.
I studied some of your work in journalism school.
Now that's just foolish. I was a relic, even before I died. The city I wrote about has long since evolved and changed into something completely different. But that's New York City, isn't it? Wouldn't be New York if it stayed the same year to year.
I'm sorry you had to stop writing.
So am I. But what else could I do? Let innocent people die? No, I don't regret the choice I made. Not for one moment.
Or did the people dying only start with Isaac Brown? I think maybe it just started with Isaac. Slash... Mildred? Not Mildred. I can't remember the woman's name, unfortunately. It'll come back, I'm sure. Or maybe it won't. Who knows?
Did
Either
you
way.
know Charles Meltzer?
Yes, I did. He worked at the New Yorker back in the late 70s. He would come into my office and ask about the old days, and I was happy to tell him. I knew he would never cut it as a reporter, but he had a very keen, analytical mind. I almost forgot all about him, but it appeared a link formed between us, nonetheless. When I died, my connection to the Countess passed on to him.
It's strange, because Joe Gould and Joseph Mitchell don't seem to have that much of a link, and neither do Joseph Mitchell and Charles Meltzer, and yet the link has been passed on somehow.
Charles Meltzer is using the Countess to kill people.
By accident?
No, on purpose. He sent her after me.
Now, that's a shame. I'm aware that through my actions I killed a few people, but I could forgive myself for it, since I was unaware of what I was doing. But many times I thought to myself, I have a weapon, it's untraceable, nobody knows about it. I could use it, but I did not. I was tempted, but I did not. Not once. You have to stop, Charles. Break this link, destroy this place. No more innocents should have to die.
I'm working on it.
How do I break this link?
Well,
I
I
wish
say
I
I'm working
knew.
on it.
I'm
Mostly
afraid
just
all this
dawdling
is
talking to you guys,
beyond
but
me.
you know. Oh yeah.
Why don't you give him a cigarette?
When you give that man a cigarette or a drink, he likes to talk. And the only subject Joe Gould likes to talk about, at length, is Joe Gould. And the only person for him to talk to is me. So, I do not give him a cigarette.
Well then surely all he's talking about is a cigarette, which is not much better.
Would you give him a cigarette if I spoke to him for you?
I might. If you can get him away from me, I might. But we can't leave this diner, and the door to that kitchen is locked.
Can't you just float through the wall?
Believe me, I've tried that. It doesn't work. Not here.
Because this is a weird ghost diner.
Why did you write about Joe Gould?
He's a fascinating man. Intolerable company, but fascinating. He exemplified everything about New York at the time. Its artistic expression, its frustration, its joy and heartbreak. His oral history, or the idea of it, energized the work of dozens of writers and intellectuals. But the more I got to know him,
And I hear
the less
someone
I
made a
wanted to be
game based
him.
around it, but what do I know?
Did you ever read Joe Gould's oral history?
That, it never existed. Or if it did, Mr. Gould never shared it with anyone, which amounts to the same thing.
You know why I never wrote it down. People would have died.
You didn't stop telling people you were writing it, did you?
What could I say? The truth? They would have chucked me in a loony bin.
So, this has made everything even more confusing. People were dying when Joe Gould wrote as well. Okay. And that's when the link was severed. Then she started knowing to kill people because of what Joe Gould wrote. Okay, I think that makes sense. Anyway, the point
Thanks
is,
for talking, Mr. Mitchell. I'll see
from
what I
that
can do.
conversation, we learned that
Thank you,
Joseph
Miss
Mitchell wants
Blackwell.
to be able to get into the kitchen, and you might recall, at the very start of this game, we had to get through a locked door, using a paperclip. Oh hey, there's that whispering again.
Easy. What's that noise?
I think it's to do with ghosts. Well, looks like the only thing we can interact with is the ovens or the door. Let's try the middle one.
That's weird.
Bingo!
There's a strange glow coming from inside.
Hello. Can we have a chat?
There's nothing in here.
Yeah,
There's a strange glow. Hello? Is someone in there?
She comes, she comes.
Who are you?
Part of a whole. Left behind. Safe here. Leave me.
Are you the Countess?
Countess, one of my names. Yes. I no longer live, but part of me remains. Leave me.
So I guess this is the part of the Countess that was left behind when the link with Madeline was broken. However that happens.
I need to take you out of here.
No. Safe here. Warm here. I stay in warm places. Too cold out there.
Well,
My
I'm
hand
afraid you're
goes
gonna
right
have to...
through it.
Nope, never mind.
Too cold. I will survive here and save fire. Leave me.
Okay. It seems we'll only be able
Well,
to take her with
see
us if we can
I'm
get...
talking to an oven.
It's not all that strange, all things
A
considered. Well,
sound
it's very
idea.
strange, but for
I'm
your
sure it
life.
made more sense than most people I know. So this is the kitchen. Such a bare and emotionless place. Not even a bottle of ketchup.
Well, now that Joseph Mitchell has managed... Oh, now that Joe Gould is leaving Joseph
Mr.
Mitchell
Gould?
alone.
He returns. Say, can you spare a...
I'm afraid I'm a little short.
Sorry, didn't mean to skip
Fair
past
enough,
you there,
fair
Joe.
enough.
Does something about that oven look strange to you?
Nothing about my life has ever made sense. Why should an oven be any different?
Okay, that's fair. Okay,
I'll
but
talk to you later.
the point is,
Sure. Things to do.
now that
people
Joe
to
Gould
see,
in
I
here,
understand.
maybe Joseph Mitchell will be willing to part with a cigarette. And I know we said we were going to get it for Joe, but I get the feeling maybe we need it for someone else here.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
How about that cigarette?
Gould has left the room.
I see. Thank you for that.
Have you reconsidered giving him a cigarette?
I suppose I have been a little hard on the man. Here. I don't smoke anymore anyway. Give him the whole pack.
Okay, that sounds fair. By the way,
The oven in the kitchen is talking.
Is it now?
This doesn't surprise you.
Miss, look where we are. I stopped being surprised ages ago.
I mean, it's a fair assessment.
Thanks for
You're in a
talking, Mr.
diner in a
Mitchell. I'll see
non-real,
what I can
possibly
do.
real plane of
Thank you, Miss
existence,
Blackwell.
looking for half of the split soul of someone who is going around strangling people to death despite being a ghost, only because someone keeps writing their names in their own email folder. A little bit of an unusual situation for you. Anyway, we don't need a bunch of cigarettes, so let's give that to Joe.
Joseph Mitchell wanted you to have this.
Ah, nice contribution to the Joe Gould Fund.
Although, while we're on the topic, we kind of might need some of that heat.
Mr. Gould,
She returns. Say, can you spare a few dollars
No,
for the
Joe,
Joe
we've
Gould
been over
Fund?
this
I'm
multiple
afraid I'm a
times
little
now.
short.
Fair enough.
In any case.
Liking your cigarette?
It's delightful. Here, feel free to join me.
Well, I don't smoke myself.
Thanks, but I don't smoke.
You might as well keep it. When a man is rich, he can afford to be generous.
On top of that, it might be a ghost
I'll
cigarette.
talk to you later.
But
Sure,
either
sure,
way,
sure. Things to do, people to see, I understand.
got the heat we need to be able to take someone with us.
Is this warm enough?
Warm. Safety. The flame will carry me. Thank you.
That sounds ominous.
That makes things even more ominous, Joe. Please don't just disappear from existence like that. Same goes to you, Dinah.
I can't explain it, but I have the feeling that my time in this place is ending.
Is it the
I'm
fact
breaking
that everything's
link.
disappearing?
It'll all be over soon.
Over. Yes. I can't say that I ever understood any of this, but I do know one thing. Gould was right. We are connected. Every single person on the planet. It's a pattern so complex that we can't even begin to understand it. So don't try to understand it. Gould tried, and he lived a miserable life. Just live, and be happy in living. Anyhow, you best get gone. You got a job to finish.
Yeah, we kind of do. We need to make sure that, well, Charles isn't going to be able to kill anyone else. Although, once we break this link, presumably the Countess should disappear.
This place is starting to fade.
That's good, right? Once this place is gone, the link is gone too. The killing will stop.
This means something to you, the killing.
She killed someone right in front of me. I want to stop that from happening again.
Imagine that. Genuine heart. Your predecessor was not graced with such compassion.
Predecessor? Do you mean Lauren? My Auntie Lauren?
We should not stay here. This place will soon cease to be. Come,